Hello and welcome to Marvin Gardens, November 2020. Yeah, still 2020. And this month, the big development is that we are doing a technology upgrade. Hopefully it's an upgrade. For the first time since 2016, I'm changing the camera that I'm going to be using to do the garden videos. Now, let's see if I can swing this around here and show you. That is the camera that I usually use to shoot the garden video. And this is the camera that I'm using now. As you can see, it's got a 3-axis gimbal, just like the Osmo, which is the one that I have been using. And the reason that I've upgraded to this camera setup is that I pulled out my old HD camcorder and noticed that the color saturation was better, and remembered that it focuses a lot closer than this little Osmo does. The Osmo is great for what it does, but I think this camera is just going to give us a little better quality, and hopefully, you know, when I zoom in to look at something up close, I can get in way close, because it's happened before that I have tried to get close with this Osmo and it just comes out of focus. Not grossly out of focus, but bad enough. So I'm going to put this guy right here that down, and continue on with this one here. And so first of all, let me get back into selfie mode. There we go. Okay, so now you're seeing the video through the new camera, and I'm putting this guy down, and I'm going to stop him from recording because there's no reason to anymore. And one thing, this is the first garden video that I'm shooting with this setup, so I still have things to get used to on how to do things and the best approach and stuff like that. So forgive me if the camera work is a little strange, but that's how it goes sometimes. Okay, so like I say, it's November 2020. It feels like November out today. It's just sort of chilly, but it's calm and it's cloudy, and so it makes for nice shooting. So let's turn around here, and I'm gonna see. I just went down up when I was supposed to go down. That's one of the things I have to get used to. Anyway, there's Chives. They're doing fine. The Asian basil is, of course, done for long since. My little radishes are, those aren't radishes, I'm sorry, the turnips are growing very slowly. I don't think they get the proper amount of light here. And, but winter time is still doing fine, even though we've already had several frosts and a hard freeze. And this parsley that came up on its own is also doing just fine. Here we've got the garlic chives, and they have fully gone to seed, as you can see here. And with this camera, see, I can get right up close and personal. While we're here, I think what I want to do is show you in the greenhouse, because in the greenhouse, what we're doing that we haven't done in previous years is we've got the heaters running here, and that's just to keep it from getting down into freezing in the greenhouse, because we're going to try and keep some plants growing in the greenhouse, since in previous years the grass stayed green all winter, even without the heaters. So before we got the frost, for example, I pulled in these lemon Jam Marigolds because I just thought it'd be nice to extend being able to look at them for a while. Here we have a collection of the peanut harvest. I can't remember what state that was in last time we did the video. But anyway, I made the mistake of leaving them in here too long because that is evidence of, yes, rodents getting in here. And they got into the sunflower over there. I don't know if you can see. Whoops, banged the camera. But there's all kinds of sunflower shells there, so we won't be getting many sunflowers. And evidence of peanuts being consumed by the stinking rodents. So you best believe I'll be getting the peanuts out of here. Frankie, you want to come out so the door doesn't close on you? Come on, boy. Okay, so maybe I'll just see if I can leave that door open for him. All right, so let's go on here to. Oh, hi, Cassie. Here's Cassie. Good old Cassie. There you go. Whoops. A little too far. Like I say, my camera work is gonna be a little bit challenged this time around. Okay, we're on bed 1, which looks a lot different than it did. And as you can see, the cauliflower plants, the brassicas in general, look really tired. Although they tolerate frost, once it gets to a hard freeze, they start looking pretty bad. But what's not looking too bad are the cauliflowers that have grown. Although, you know, some of them are getting a little brownish and things like that. So they're not optimum. This one, however, looks really nice. It's just a little bit small, but we've got several of those, and we're going to be doing all the harvesting today. I left this cabbage out a little too long, but once I peel off those outer leaves, it'll be a fine little head of cabbage. I was just hoping it was going to get bigger. Broccoli looks really yucky. Nothing harvestable there anymore. But we got a few more cauliflowers hanging out, some of which are, like I say, discolored, but they'll still be fine to eat, actually. And then it's Brussels sprouts, and you can see they've fallen over, and because we had some windstorms, and they're looking a little worse for the wear because of the cold temperatures. But as you can see there are plenty of fine Brussels sprouts on several of these guys. Some of them have got brownish outer leaves, but I believe I can just peel off the outer leaves and they'll be just fine. But I will be pulling those today if I don't run out of sunlight before I get around to it. That's pretty much bed 1. Last time the okra was done for. This time they're just like dead sticks. And so are the pole beans. These are the scarlet runners, and they are, of course, totally done for. Next chore is going to be pulling down those cages. We do have a development here in the compost pile, as you might be able to tell by looking. And the timing was just right for me to go out on the property and suck up all the leaves that had fallen and bring them here to the compost heap. That leaves me with a task to try and figure out how to sort of turn the compost heap so that I can mix the leaves in with the manure that's beneath. But I'll figure that out when the time comes, I guess. Haven't come up with a good idea to make it less than a mammoth chore. Here's the grow house, which of course has been in not growing anything for a couple of months now. We had some pretty nasty windstorms come through, and that has blown all the plastic and popped the holders, and some of the netting is all blown off too. I'll just redo all that stuff when I get another mild day, or even in the spring. If it doesn't happen until the spring, that's no big deal either. Here's the other pole bean, the Vortex. They are also done for. The frost and freeze does them in quickly, and that's the same is true of most of the flowers here. These are the sunflowers. This is the Borage, what's left of it down here, and calendula. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, we did manage to clip off a few of them for to bring inside to have in a vase. They were kind of nice right before the freeze hits or hit. If you look really carefully there, like right there, you can see that there are some scallions. I've pulled most of them, and they are not doing well through the frost. This is anise hyssop, and it's still doing okay, but we brought some of that inside the greenhouse too, just because it didn't seem like it was going to have enough time for it to bloom when we planted them in August. That's the rest of the lemon Jam Marigolds, and now you can see why I brought a pot of them into the greenhouse, because they look nice in there. And this is spinach, which is overdue to be harvested, but I've just sort of left it out here because, well, I guess I just didn't have to harvest it, so I didn't. I'm going to also pull that. You can see there's good leaves. There's also some of the leaves are old and showing it, but anyway, next to that is a row of what we believe are pond irises, and then we got vacancies here for the summer squash. This used to be eggplants. We got the last of the eggplants. Again, once the frosts and then the freezes come, they just turn into dead stalks. And this is where the peanuts were. Now they're in the greenhouse being eaten by rodents. But anyway, this is a row of turnips, and the weird about these turnips is, the weird thing I should say, is that they, some of them are oblong instead of coming in round. I have no idea why that's happening. And then we got radishes, just a few, and a couple of them are edible, but most of them are not. You know, what we got here is Frankie has obviously smelled the rodent. He's in the greenhouse. He's trying to find the rodent. Good boy. Good boy. You go get him. All right. So let's do this right here. And this bed is used to be tomatoes, long since gone, and not a very good season, but that's what happens sometimes. And then there's a few leftover basil plants that are long since gone, and then these again volunteer parsley that seem to be doing just fine when even after a hard freeze, so can't complain there. Now this is my 5 rows of turnips, and they're looking pretty good, as you can see. The leaves themselves look a little tired from the cold temperatures, but I think they're still growing. I'm going to have to pull some of those today for sure, to at least thin them out, if nothing else. They're growing much more slowly now that we're into the cold weather. All right, that brings us to what used to be peppers, and you can see what frost and freeze does to peppers. No question about that. They're done for. We did anticipate the frost coming and pulled as many as were at least worth pulling. Now here's a surprise. That's sage, and it's actually doing fine even after a frost, which I was surprised about. And my little lettuces are doing okay too, but growing very slowly. Finally, around here, we've got an earlier planting of radishes, some of which are full size and ready to go. Oh, I did that again. They're not radishes, they're turnips. The radishes are right there. Last month at the same place, I also called these radishes. Anyway, they are turnips, and they're doing fine, if not growing a little small, but other than that, pretty good. All right, what's not so good is what's happened with the leeks here. They were saying that they would tolerate freeze and frost, but they just don't look very good, and we're not going to get any harvestable leeks out of them, I don't think. So I guess we can mosey on over to the asparagus patch, but you know what? I don't think we will. I think we're just going to stand here and look at it, because all that's left to do there, as you can tell by the color, is to cut them down and get the bed ready to be wintered over. So that's what's going on there, and there's not much else to show you. Let's turn around here so you can look at me, and I can continue to practice using the selfie mode with this camera. The nice thing is it keeps it nice and level, and but I can't see the screen. I can't see what's being recorded until I hook up a monitor screen to the setup here. So, all right. So, just wanted to touch bases with the pond, and it's looking not too bad. I just did major leaf vacuuming, and the water is clearing a little bit after looking like very dark tea due to the leaves. But other than that, things are just slowing down and ungreening, and even the plant overflow area, all the water hyacinths have been touched by the freeze and are done for. So those are going to get added to the compost eventually. This is the final finished new deck, and I've even put up the old spa because I found a way to to fix the problem that I was having with it on the internet. Got the parts and actually got it working again. So it's up to 90 degrees. We're just waiting for it to get to 100 before we use it. So what else? Interestingly enough, oops, that's not right. I must have put this into a strange mode somewhere. I'm sorry, but let me just keep going because there's really not much else to show you here, and the only other thing of significance as an indicator of all right, you guys, wait, I'm coming in is let's see, it's interesting. Oops. Sorry for my rambling. I'm just trying to figure out how to work this camera. It'll be better next month, I promise. But anyway, just wanted to show you that as a sign of colder weather, both our little water features here are put away for the season. The fire pit area is looking like it's not very welcoming right now, but I'm sure we're going to enjoy a few cold weather fire pits before we get into the total dead of winter. And if this video works out, we can bid adieu to the old Osmo, which has served us well, and but I'm hoping that this new camera is going to turn out to be more fun if I can learn how to work it. Anyway, Marvin Gardens, November 2020, and the garden is pretty much or will be pretty much bed down for the winter very, very soon. I've got a fair amount of harvesting to do today, and some cleanup work in the subsequent days, and then it'll be winter time. And in fact, that makes sense because the next Marvin Gardens video is going to be December 2020, and we're just actually, how many days? Well, we're less than a week away from Thanksgiving, so that's always fun. And then comes the big one, and I'm talking about winter, and then Christmas right after that, which is pretty big too. Anyway, that's going to do it. I hope my camera work was tolerable, and that the camera did a better job than the photographer, let's say. So that's going to do it. Marvin Gardens, November 2020. See you next month in December. Bye, y'all.